Hello, mate. You all right? So we're going to do something a little bit different on the channel we haven't done before. I'm just going to talk to you. I'm going to talk to you about gaming and my current thoughts. And we're going to do this on a weekly basis because I love gaming and I love interaction with the community. That's, this is what we do after all. We're gamers, whether you do it in solo in an RPG or whether you do it as a team within Call of Duty. We play games and we love to talk about it. And that's exactly what I like to do as well. So that's what we're going to do. Now, recently I've been struggling to find games to play. New games coming out and I'm just not really feeling them as much as perhaps I should. I've been leaning towards games that, I've played a million times. Recently done a review for Knights of the Old Republic 2. Last year I done a review for Knights of the Old Republic 1. We done back into Wasteland 3. I kind of want to do a Final Fantasy 8 as well. I recently done a review on that, I believe, on the channel. And I'm going to be live streaming Final Fantasy 9 because I've never played it. Never. And I think that's a really good game to kind of, do a bit of live streaming, see my interaction as well. I love Final Fantasy. I think it's a fantastic game. I think there's some game mechanics within that game that just go so unspoken. And I think the Final Fantasy is a perfect game to talk about in regards to what I want to talk about today. Because it dawned on me that recently it got released that GTA 6 is going to be $2 billion. $2 billion, the production value of that, which I just think is insane. Absolutely insane. Do games really need that kind of investment? Do they really need the amount of time that is taken for GTA 6 to be made? Is it simply because of the graphics? Because I think graphics aren't the be-all and end-all of gaming, if you ask me. Now, yes, in a game like Call of Duty, it's quite cool to have very, very good graphics. Could you do a dulled-down graphics game and still get something equally as good? Yes, I think so. I think that Hellraisers, for instance, is a fantastic game. I think that there are other first-person shooter games that do it just as well that aren't necessarily, as graphically good as well. And it reminds me of Tekken. Tekken is a franchise that I love a lot. Really, I've played it for such a long time, mostly couch co-op, but I've played it a lot and played it with a lot of different people. One of my favorite things of all time is to play like a team battle, my 8 v you 8, whatever it is. I also used to love playing games like Mortal Kombat. Fantastic game. There used to be a game, I can't remember which Mortal Kombat it was, but there was a combat chess, in which case, you had a literal chessboard made up of Mortal Kombat players. I thought that was bloody awesome. 1, I was great at the game. 2, I'm good at chess. So it was just, it was a cool game mode that I really like to see. But I've noticed that, for instance, Tekken 8, they had to remove features. I mean, they removed team battles within Tekken 7. And again, it's not there in Tekken 8. Now, those two games aren't too dissimilar to Tekken 6, except for the graphics. So apparently they just couldn't afford to put it in the budget, which I just think is so crazy, because then you can individually sell characters for an awful lot of money. I mean, to me, the gaming industry today is going really, really crazy. And yes, it's a good thing. Yes, it's a bad thing. I think for different reasons. But it's a shame when it is graphics that is taking away some really cool features that could be added to the game. I mean, look at Final Fantasy 8. Again, I mentioned it, not too long ago, but Final Fantasy 8 was a great game, not only because of what it offered. JRPGs offer a unique experience I think many people do like, but it also had little things like the card game. I love mini games in games. I do think that the remake of Final Fantasy VII went a little bit too far with just the sheer amount of mini games it had. But Final Fantasy VIII had it perfect. They had a great game, and then along the road you could dedicate an awful lot of time to this card collecting game, much like The Witcher. The Witcher again was a fantastic open world RPG, one of my favorite open world RPGs of all time. But Gwent has to be Does it make top 5? It's one of my favorite card games of all time too. I actually own the Gwent cards, which is I'm really glad that I've got them. But that's a fantastic game that I think many people spend a lot of time within. Gwent, that is, hunting down those cards and hunting down that whole thing. It was kind of cool that it was so good and so popular that it managed to be its own thing, its own game as well. So I think the gaming industry today is just too focused perhaps on graphics and trying to just make a game look so good, and yet it comes out maybe buggy, laggy. There's so many different issues with them. Now, yes, those issues existed way back in the day as well, but you're talking about games that were barely even a gigabyte download. I mean, God forbid how much the download is going to be when it comes to GTA 6. A game doesn't necessarily have to be big in order to be good. A game doesn't necessarily have to look great in order to be a great game that many people can play and enjoy. And I think sometimes the devs focus far too much on just how much money that they can make. Now, I understand it's their job, I understand it's a business, and there's so much money in the gaming industry today. It's actually ridiculous how much money is in the gaming industry today, which is fantastic for us, the gamers, because we're going to have some amazing things come up from us, in the future. But like I said, I've been playing some of these older games, and they're just so good. They are so good. I loaded up like Tekken 3. I loaded up Tekken 3. You start with maybe 16 characters if you're lucky, I believe. And it has loads of blank boxes of different characters you can unlock. And do you think that you have to pay for those? No. You have to play the game. You play the game and you unlock those characters. There's hidden characters by just playing a game. If you ask me, that's bloody brilliant. I would love to see more games just like that. No Man's Sky for me is a fantastic game too. I've been playing it recently. I've been playing it an awful lot. It's one that I played originally when it first came out because all that hype was around it. Obviously, we were a little bit disappointed with what we got. I still kind of liked it. I did still kind of like it. But it turns out that the devs behind No Man's Sky just keep releasing and releasing and releasing and releasing update after update, content after content, new features after new features. And do you think that they've charged you an extra penny? No, they haven't. They just want to deliver a really good game that they believe in. I believe they've made an awful lot of money for doing so as well. I think that is selling really, really well. And recently, I believe it had over 110,000 concurrent players over on Steam, let alone, that on console as well. So what they've done there at Hello Games is really fantastic, because I can tell you right now, as someone that is currently playing it, currently putting in an awful lot of hours into it, and I will be doing an updated review for No Man's Sky, that game is just hitting it different. That game is doing so well. It's come such a long way, and it's finally delivering on the promises that it kind of had, on initial release, which is pretty cool. And just to see just the sheer amount of extra content and updates after the release has gone so far ago, and completely free, no DLC for it. I just think that is awesome, and I wish that other, devs out there took notice, and we had some more games just like it. I will mention Baldur's Gate 3 as well. That was also another amazing game that I think that they had an idea of what they wanted to deliver. They executed it brilliantly. There was some nice aftercare for the game as well. And they had the opportunity to make DLC. They had the opportunity to make, another game, the devs behind that game. And they said no. They didn't want to milk it. They were very proud of what they'd done, and they looked after their customers. And I think that it's devs like that shine in 2025 going forward, in the gaming industry. Now, before we end this video, I need to say a big hello to any Empire of Sin players. I think that if anyone is watching this, you may be an Empire of Sin player. We did just receive possibly the final update for the game, introducing brand new features for the very first time. And we will be trying to do a playthrough on that as well. I might be live streaming it. So, watch the next couple of days and we'll see what happens. But if you've joined me, a big thank you to you. I hope you're doing well. Let me know down in the comments what video, no, that's wrong. But hey, we're not going to be editing this stuff. Let me know down in the comments what game you are currently playing and what game you are still looking forward to playing this year. But until